Do you ever look at the crazy property prices, the cost of, well, everything, and just wonder why your hard work isn't getting you anywhere? You do all the right things, work hard, try to save, pay your taxes, but you are still struggling. It feels like you are on a treadmill running faster just to stay put, while you watch other people glide up on an escalator. Meanwhile, the rich seems to be on another planet altogether, getting wealthier every single year. Their wealth isn't just growing, it's speeding up. And it's not because they are just working harder, it's because they are playing a totally different game. A game with cold, calculating rules designed to take wealth, not just earn it. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what those rules are. Now, this video is titled Why Aussies Stay Broke, and we are going to use Australia as a perfect case study. But make no mistake, these rules are universal whether you are in the US, UK, or Canada, or anywhere else in the world. The game is the same. Let's be real. That whole idea of a fair shot that if you just work hard, you will get ahead, for a lot of us, that dream feels dead. We are in a cost of living crisis where things that used to be basics now feel like luxuries. And while your paycheck struggles to keep up, the wealth of the world's richest is shooting right into the stratosphere. The numbers are pretty shocking. In a country like Australia, for example, the number of billionaires has more than doubled in the last decade alone. The wealthiest 20% of households there now hold over 60% of the country's private wealth. Think about that for a second. According to some reports, the wealthiest 20% of Australians now have around 90 times more wealth than the lowest 20%. This isn't just an Australian problem. You will find similar patterns worldwide. It's not an accident, it's how the system is set up. You are told to put your savings in a bank account that gets you maybe 4% interest, while inflation just eats it for the breakfast. You are told to rely on a salary that gets taxed heavily, while others people build their wealth through assets that are barely taxed at all. The real problem isn't that you are lazy or not trying. The problem is you are playing checkers while they are playing grandmaster level chess. You are focused on earning, they are focused on owning, leveraging, and controlling. You believe in fairness, they believe in power. And the rule number one of their game is that money doesn't follow fairness, it follows power. So, how do they actually do it? It's not a secret handshake, it's a set of principles that are ruthless, strategic, and incredibly effective. These aren't taught in school, they are learned in the boardrooms and passed down through generations. The most important rule is that real wealth is almost never built from your own work. It's built by using other people's time and, even better, other people's money. The average person's financial plan is trading time for money, a salary. You work 40 hours, you get paid for 40 hours. The path is a surefire way to stay stuck. The wealthy know this is a trap, so instead, they position themselves to control systems that make money for them. The most obvious example, and this is true in many countries, is a property. A regular person saves for years to scrape together a 20% deposit for their own home. A wealthy investor, though, uses the bank's money, leveraging up to 80% to buy an asset. Let me break it down. Say you have $100,000, you could put it in the bank and earn, let's be generous, around $5,000 a year before tax. A wealthy person uses that same money, same $100,000, as a deposit to control a 500,000 property. If that property goes up by just 5% in 1 year, its value jumps by $25,000. That's a 25% return on their cash, not 5%. They are not working 5 times harder, they are making their money work 5 times harder by using someone else's. They do this everywhere. They start businesses and hire people, leveraging their time. They invest in companies, leveraging the work of thousands of employees. They build systems that run without them. While you are working in the system, they are working on the system. They are not just cog in the machine, they own the whole machine. The old rules probably told you to avoid debt. That is bad. Your parents might have said, I know my parents did. For most people, that's good advice because we usually take on bad debt for things like credit cards, car loans, mobile phones, stuff that loses value. But the rich have mastered the good debt. They use it like a weapon to buy assets that grow in value or make them money, like property and businesses. And financial systems worldwide practically roll out the red carpet for it. This is where the game gets really sneaky. Tax systems around the world are loaded with legal loopholes that overwhelmingly help people who own assets, not people who earn a wage. Let's talk about tax deductions on investment properties. In many countries, there's a concept where an investors buy a property and the cost to own it, the mortgage interest, maintenance fees, are more than the rent they get. So they are making a loss. Tax laws often allow them to subtract the loss from their other income, like a high paying job, which means they pay less tax. So the average taxpayer is essentially helping to pay for their investment, all while the property itself is hopefully going up in the value. Again, they don't get taxed on until they sell. Then you have got capital gains tax discounts. When you sell an asset you have owned for more than a year, you often pay tax only on a portion of the profit. So while every single dollar of your salary gets taxed, an investor who makes a $100,000 profit on the shares might only add $50,000 to their taxable income. Recent reports have shown that a massive chunk of this benefit goes up to the top 1% of income earners. The wealthy also use things like family trust. A trust can own assets and earn income, and then spread that income out to the family members who are in the lower tax brackets. It's a legal way to split income and make sure as little as possible ends up with the tax man. While you are just one person paying tax, they operate like a slick financial machine. They hire the best accountants not to cheat the system, but to master it. If you're finding this useful and it's making you look at money a bit differently, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I'm not just here to expose the game, I want to teach you how to play it. Now, beyond the money and tax tricks, there's a huge difference in mindset. This is where you really see the Machiavellian thinking. They don't wait for opportunities, they make them. The average person makes financial moves based on feelings, fear, and greed. When the market panics, they sell. When there's a frenzy, they buy at the top because of FOMO. The wealthy do the exact opposite. They are strategically patient. They know recessions and market crashes are just part of the cycle. To them, these aren't disasters. They are fire sales. They are once in a decade chance to buy great assets at a huge discount from people who are panicking. While others are losing their jobs and selling off shares or property just to get by, the rich are swooping in with the cash, buying up those same assets for a fraction of the price. They are the predators in this ecosystem, and they feed on the fear of the prey. They wait, they watch, and when there's a blood in the streets, they act. Machiavelli said a leader should avoid being hated, but it's better to be feared than loved. A huge part of that is being unreadable, keeping your cards close to your chest. A wealthy uses this in every negotiation, whether they are buying a business or a property. They have mastered the art of silence. Most people can't stand silences. They get nervous. They start talking, revealing their budget, how badly they want the deal. They basically talk themselves into the worst position. The strategic player knows that silence creates pressure. It makes the other person show their hand. By saying nothing, you learn everything. By controlling your emotions and revealing nothing, you keep all the power. You become a black hole in the negotiation, sucking in information but letting nothing out. Machiavelli knew that what people believe is often more powerful than the truth. The wealthy are masters of controlling the story. Think about it. Why is one bottle of wine is $1,000 and the other is just $10? The liquid is pretty much the same. It's the story, the brand, the feeling of status. Why do people line up for a phone when their old one is fine? Narrative. The rich gets that money follows belief. They invest in brands, art, and assets where the value is almost entirely built on a story. They also use this in the market. They push stories of growth to pump up the value of asset they already own. And they sow seeds of fear to drive down the price of things they want to buy. The person who controls the story controls the money. Okay, so the game is rigged. The rules are different for them. It's easy to feel angry or helpless. And honestly, that's what the system wants you to feel. People who are beaten down don't fight back. They just keep their heads down and keep working. But just understanding the game is the first step to playing it. You don't have to be a billionaire to use these principles. You can start right where you are. The goal isn't to become some ruthless monster, but to adapt the mindset of a player, not a pawn. Now, this is the biggest step. You have to change how you see money. Stop thinking only about your next paycheck. Start thinking about your next asset. Your goal is no longer just to earn an income, but to build or buy things that make money without you having to trade your time for it. This means you have to prioritize your financial education, read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos like this, learn the language of money, leverage, cash flow, capital gains, equity. The wealthy get this education handed to them. You have to go out and get it yourself. Your most valuable asset isn't your house, it's what you know. You might not be buying $1 million building tomorrow, but you can start small. Do you have equity in your home? You could potentially use that for a small investment. You can start a small side business that doesn't just trade time for money. Think about a digital product, an online course, or a small e commerce store. Something you build once and can sell over again and again. The goal is to create a small second engine of income that separates from your salary. Even if it only makes a few hundred extra dollars a month, you have broken that mental barrier of trading time for money. You now own a system. You can start doing this today for free. The next time you are about to make a big purchase, just stop. Wait for 48 hours. The next time the stock market dives, you feel that fear in your stomach, take a breath and look for the opportunity. Start paying attention to how you react to money. You are an impulse spender. Do you panic when your investments drop? Just being aware is the first step to taking control. Train yourself to be an observer, not a participant in the market's emotional drama. And instead of just being angry about taxes, learn how they work. Read your local tax authority's website. Understand what a deduction is. Learn about retirement accounts like superannuation or a 401. You don't need to be an accountant, but you need to know the basic rules of the game you are in. The system is full of incentives. Are you using them? Are you maximizing your retirement accounts? Are you claiming every single deduction you are legally allowed to? Knowing the rule is power. The gap between the rich and the average person isn't just about money. It's a gap in the knowledge and strategy. They are playing a different game than the one you were taught. They use debt as a tool, the tax code as a roadmap, and our emotions as a market indicator. They don't just work for their money, they make their money work for them in a system designed to multiply it. But this knowledge isn't locked away in a vault. The rules are out there for everyone who is willing to learn them. It all starts with deciding to stop being a spectator in your own financial life and start being an active player. It means you have to be colder, more calculative, and more strategic than you have ever been taught. It means you have to let go of the illusion that hard work alone is enough and see the system for what it is, a game of power. Don't hate the player, learn the game and start playing it. And thanks for watching. If you are ready to stop being a pawn and start playing the game, one of the most powerful ways to do that is through strategic property investment in Australia. It's a key part of the playbook we have discussed today. If you want guidance on how to navigate that world, my team at Prime Base Properties specializes in helping people to just do that. There's a link in the description to learn more. Subscribe for more deep dives into the strategies the wealthy use to stay on top. The more of us who understand the rules, the more of us can start winning.